Hello folks and welcome. Well, I'm not going to do some sort of typical cliche YouTube, my new car. This is my new car. It's a Mercedes C63 AMG Estate. This particular one is the performance pack version. The reason why I've gone for the performance pack, well, it's pretty simple, isn't it? It's got a limited slip diff, an extra 30 horsepower, and it can do most of the sideways bits. So I've had this car for the last month now, and do you know what? I can't get to grips with it. I actually can't. So you guys might be wondering, why can't I get on with a C63? And I'm trying to think the same too. C63 has grew up a lot of my life. I remember when it first came onto the scene, I was about 10 years old. I grew up seeing loads of them, like most of you guys out there who are about the same age as me. But I don't know, I just couldn't really get to grips with it. I've always dreamt of owning one, but obviously, yeah, I mean, this car is quite affordable in that respect. This particular car is 30 grand, and it's done 30,000 miles with a full service history, and I bought it off of Safwat Cars. And I don't know, I mean, obviously this car's got the M156 6.2 litre normally aspirated V8, and it makes the traditional, normally aspirated V8 soundtrack, but I just can't, I don't know, it's a very, very hard thing to explain. So this car obviously has the M156, normally aspirated V8, 6.2 litres, and it's an absolute masterpiece, isn't it? It makes all the torque low down, it's just a better power unit. Much more better power unit than the E92 M3. It makes a lot of torque low down, and high up in the rev range, it just loves to scream. So it's not the engine's fault, definitely not the engine's fault. Is it the chassis? No. The steering is nice and communicative. It tells you everything you need to know. So it's not that, and it's very, very precise. Is it the ride? No, it rides really well. This car's on fixed springs, maybe with adjustable dampers, I'm not too sure. You can slate me off on that one. It rides really good. The whole idea and the concept of buying this was to experience a wagon. I love the wagon C63. I think it looks fantastic, and the overall appeal is very, very sleeper car. And I think I might have done myself a bollock in there because it isn't that exciting. Is it the spec? No, it's not the spec. This car is fully loaded with loads of toys. It's got radar cruise control, it's got the Harman Kardon sound system, it's got lane departure warning, it's got sunroof, it's got even wood veneer interior. I know it's kind of old man spec, but I quite like that, it's really cool. So it's not that either. I don't know, I absolutely don't know. However, C63s are becoming a lot more affordable now, and on the market, something like this, you can buy one for as little as 30 grand. So you're getting yourself, well, in this particular example, a 487 horsepower, 6.2 litre, normally aspirated V8 with all the space in the world for as much money as a Golf R. Sounds like a no-brainer. But you do need to bear in mind the running costs. This car has a small fuel tank, too small, and you know, on a long run you'll be lucky if you reach 20 miles to the gallon. Right now I'm only getting about 5 or 6 most of the time, but then who cares, it's a big V8. Don't buy if you can't afford it. Don't buy if you can't run it, you know, simple as. Gearbox is a 7-speed wet clutch system, so it's, you know, it's not full auto, but it's a bit of a slushy box if you ask me, and it's alright on the upshifts with the paddles. In normal automatic mode, it's actually really nice. But let's just forget about me for 1 minute and my thoughts of ownership, each to their own. What is this car actually like when you're driving it? This car is an absolute animal. nice and clean with the car. You can drive this car really precise. I do prefer it over to an E92 M3. The E92 M3 just doesn't feel that fast, but this though is an absolute animal. And it stops well too with the performance pack brakes. It's worth having a C63 performance pack over the standard car. The one with the open differential, it just doesn't feel that precise. You're not too sure what's going on. Yeah, the whole package just feels a little bit loose. This is a little bit more precise in that respect. The car does push a little bit on turning, but you can easily cancel that out with a load of throttle. But it's the engine. But one thing really cool about this is knock it back into comfort and you've got yourself a normal car, a normal Mercedes. I suppose that is the beauty of it. I suppose that's the reason why you see so many of these cars in the UK. It just has the best of both worlds. I know that's a cliche thing to say a lot, but it just does. It works so well. So here we have it then, the Mercedes C63 AMG sideways machine. It does the sideways bit really well, by the way, with this performance pack, with the slippy diff and the extra 30 horsepower, as if you really needed another extra 30 horsepower from this engine. It just does it so well. The engine is just an absolute masterpiece. That M156 codename 6.2 litre normally aspirated V8 will be missed. It pulls low down, it pulls hard up. It's just a much more effective engine than the equivalent E92 BMW M3. And in this package as an estate, I just think it looks quite sleeper. And the steering's really good. It's hydraulic, it has loads of feel, it has good precision, and you've got that relatively nice long wheelbase. So catching oversteer slides is pretty easy. This is like the go-to equivalent muscle car in the UK. It's like our Mustang. And if you have 30 grand to spend, then have a look at one of these. For me, it just doesn't quite cut it. I don't know why, because I grew up loving the C63 AMGs as a young boy, but I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Maybe it's just a little bit too dull, maybe a bit too Mercedes and not enough AMG throatiness. But hey ho, the sideways machine, it came and it soon went.